So I can't share from my phone. This you sent this to my text message, so I can't log into my laptop unless
Okay.
I don't know how to
We'll
do
start.
that.
Yeah, I'll remember to send the email into you. I can though, but
Yeah,
go ahead.
email or Slack. Slack's good too. I'm on both.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but this house is you got the link. I put the link in the meeting invite
Okay.
to the Zillow. It's in Knoxville, Iowa. So this is an older home, single, early 60s, single lady. She's a nurse. She was injured at work. She got hit by a FedEx truck in the parking lot.
Wow.
And so she's out of work. She's on workers' comp. Basically, she hasn't made a house payment since like December. She's like 10 grand behind. We spoke with the bank. I got all the scoop from the bank. It's basically currently to get her current and pay it off. The payoff on the mortgage is 132 right now. Um,
Okay.
the Zillow has the house at 171. It's an older house. Looks like it's in okay condition. I'm going to guess it probably would need some kind of work on it. So I talked with her about the revive kind of concept of agreeing to a purchase price, allowing us time to repair it, get it up to a marketable condition or rentable condition. She liked the idea. I don't know if it'll pencil right, but I figured you've done enough of these. She wants here's where it gets difficult. She wants 15 grand to be able to move out. She says I'm going to need a big truck and movers. Um, she's super nice. Just ended up in a bad spot. She has an attorney she's talking to about possibly filing Chapter 13, and he says she'll be able to keep her house if she does that. And I'm like, I said I don't know anything about that. Whether you can or can't, I think there's probably going to be some downstream pretty bad impact to your credit and your ability to do anything in the future. So consider that. But I left it at that. If that's your choice and that's the pathway you want to go, then that's great. I said I'm just here to help if I can. Um,
Yep.
but so basically, to get her 15 grand, I put in it for if you wanted any kind of renovation, I figured 30 grand. I don't know, it might be five. But at 30 grand to renovate and get it marketable is, it's not going to cash flow as a long-term rental for sure. That's your 230 bucks behind. But if the renovations are 5 grand, then, it might. So there might be a way to do this.
Got it.
But
Yeah.
I have become a mentor. She's like, I mean, she called me this morning to just make sure we were going to be able to have this call today at 2 o'clock her time. So I've teed you up. You're the CEO of the company. You've done lots of transactions like this, and she is very very excited about having the conversation. She's ready to have somebody come and walk through the property. If we want to have somebody look at it, she can do that sometime this week. If we can find somebody in Knoxville, Iowa, I don't know how you'd go about doing that. Um, I was going to go out on the Sub 2 Facebook page and say, is anybody in Knoxville, Iowa that can go look at a property? But I figured we'd have this conversation and we could decide our path forward.
Got it. Yeah. So I was just trying to figure out what is even close to. I mean, I know actually my parents, my grandparents live in Des Moines, which I'm just trying to figure out how far that is. Actually, I could just quickly Google it, but
I think the nearest city of consequence is Pella, which is really interesting. My last name being Van Maren, my legacy or my family came through Pella on their way into the United States because I'm Dutch. So it's
okay.
kind of interesting. I don't know if you know anything about Pella, Iowa, but it's all Dutch people.
Oh,
So
really? Okay.
yeah,
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 I
oh
can
yeah,
look
Pella's
through.
right there. So if you look at that, if you Google it, Lake Red Rock. I went there. I have a friend actually, years and years and years ago who was in Pella, and we went to Lake Red Rock. So Pella is the largest city of any size at all, and it's not even that big. And then what's next? Yeah, Des Moines up there, probably an hour or two away.
Yeah. Said 50, 40. Actually, not as far. Only 47, 41 miles from
Yeah,
Des Moines. So not too far.
okay, not too bad.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Uh,
that's
her name her name's Jamie. She's super nice, and she's like every conversation we have, she's like thanking me backwards and forwards for trying to help her out. So,
Got it. I
and
mean, the biggest thing is I honestly, not knowing this anything about this market, I can't. My gut is telling me this thing's probably. I don't even where. What would it even sell for all fixed up? And it's not. I feel like just because these Midwest small towns, there's not a whole lot of like big upside. Like they, I don't know, their houses are just cheaper, right? So this thing might only be worth
yep.
200. Or do you have any gut for what it would even be worth if it was fixed up?
Oh, well, I went through and looked at, if you just look at sales in Knoxville, Iowa, you look at sold it's a 3.2, I think, right?
Yep.
Um, so with 3.2 in Knoxville, Iowa, 175 to 250, um, probably similar. Who knows the condition? So, it's also
Okay.
2.9%. Her rate's 2.9.
Okay.
So
That's
that
because
helped.
what I kind of think this is a good sub two. Like, so the revive method is when there's a bigger spread on, like, there's a lot of, and
Yep.
it's especially in these hotter markets where there's a lot of, it's just prices are higher, right? Because then
Yep.
we build in this huge margin, but I do think what I'm going to push on her, and I'll try to go quick just because I got a bunch of other ones to do, and then let you keep
Yep.
running with it. But I think, like, if we could get, I wonder if the bank did you ask her about the bank, seeing if they would defer the payments, or basically give her a, I forget what you, it's not, can't think of the name. What we do it all the time though, where they'll basically put it on the back end of the loan.
I did not. No, but the banker, the lady I spoke with at the bank was super nice,
Okay.
and we had a conference call, and Jamie had the banker. She gave me the authority to have conversations with the bank about the loan if there are things we need to follow up with later. So that's I can go back to the bank if there are specific questions you want me to ask.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, that's my only. And then yeah, and I think this one's it's a little bit of long. These ones just don't have as much money in them, versus I think
Yep.
some of the other ones you've sent, like these other ones we're seeing, they're just bigger numbers. But
Yep.
so, Walt, and I would just
And
be careful what you do.
this was an SEO lead. I was just following up on those SEO leads that came in. So this was one of
Perfect.
those.
Awesome. No, this is good. Yeah, I'm just thinking, I'm learning too to just be like, we've got a lot of them coming in, but it's a great one to work. Okay. Let me,
Yeah. So if she's looking for the solution. Um, I'm I'm trying to help, and I think you will. I don't know if there's a way, but if there's a way, she would sure love it. So
sweet. Okay, cool. So I'll probably go pretty quick, but I'm gonna call it right now.
yep.
Hello.
Hey, Jamie. This is Casey Gregerson. How are ya?
Good, Casey. How are you?
Doing great. Doing great. I was actually just talking to Mike. Or actually, you're on speakerphone, so Mike can hear you. But we were just talking about your house in Knoxville. Just thinking about how we can help you out.
Wonderful, because I could use the help.
Yeah, sounds like it. That's so good. And Mike said you're super. I can already tell you're super kind and nice. So yeah, I'll. This is good. If you want, I'm gonna. He kind of got me up to speed. So if it's okay, I'm gonna jump right in and throw some ideas at you. Does that sound good?
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, so just based on like how much you owe on the house and what we think the house could be worth, like we do a lot of flips, but I don't know in Iowa, and just based on what this house could sell for, if there's a whole lot of room to try to flip it. But what I do like is your rate. Mike told me you've got like a 2.9% interest rate, which is awesome.
Yes, and I've seen on the paperwork 2.9, and then I've also seen 2.75, which is what they told me to start with.
You know what? I think that's the right one. And then, yeah, it's always, I forget, there's the APR and then there's the adjusted. But yeah, I know what you're saying. So I'm actually going to write down 275. So that's great. What is your monthly payment total per month?
They just increased it to 1,006 because I didn't have enough money in my escrow.
That makes sense. Yep, that always happens. Honestly, almost all my properties had that same adjustment. Okay, so 1,006 a month. Okay. So here's what I think, Jamie, is have you asked your bank yet about like what they call it forbearance, or there's a couple different words. Essentially, it's like say it's the 10,000 you're behind on. If you start making payments on time, a lot of times they'll just put the extra 10K on the back end of the loan. And if we could do something like that, because what I'm looking at is it's hard for us to pay that 10K, and then I know you would love to get 15K to help move. So I can't do both, long story short. But what I'm hoping is the bank a lot of times will work with us if we start making payments again. But have you brought that up to them, or have you guys discussed that?
Yes, I was in some kind of program to where I had to make 3 payments on time.
Yes, you got it. Exactly what I'm talking about.
In that, and unfortunately, I didn't get paid until the last day of the month, and it didn't come in until after 5:30, and they said that would not qualify, that I had to have it in before 4.
Understood. Okay. So I've seen this happen. We've honestly, this is like, it's funny. It's like deja vu. I've had several properties like this where they got the same offer. So that's good. That's actually a positive thing. So my thought would be, we reach out to them again, because I think they'll still offer it again. Be like, hey, I know, well, whatever. Just say, hey, is there any way, like I'm ready to start making payments again. Is there any way you could offer that? And it might not be quite as good of terms, but I think typically it's in their best interest, right? They don't want to foreclose on it. And if you can make payments, that's what they like. So that's kind of my idea is we reach out to them again, see if they would honor that same offer, something similar. And if they say yes, then what we could do is we could look at, essentially what we would do is we would give you some money to help move out. We would step into your mortgage payment and take over the house. And the beauty of this is it's so fast and easy. Like we don't have to worry about inspections, appraisals, like any of that stuff. And you could move on pretty quick. Would that be helpful?
Absolutely, and I've given Mike has Susan's number, and when we did the three-way call, I gave her permission to talk to him. So if you folks want to call and see what you can do with it, you are more than welcome to.
Okay. Great. I think that's probably what we'll do then. And and honestly, if Mike's got permission, we could just try it without you. But just to be clear though, the loan would stay in your name, but we would get permission from the bank basically to give us that payment plan again. And then but yeah, we do this all the time, right? And typically banks, and we're not going to go outright and say, hey, we're selling the property, but we will go through the title company. But just to be clear, when we present this to the bank, we're presenting it as says you are going to keep making the payments. But essentially the way we set it up is we just change the auto pay. We start making the payments. And then as soon as the bank starts getting paid on time again, they will leave you alone. Because as you probably imagine, all they care about is getting paid every month. The bank is not in the business of like collections and all that stuff. They just want to get paid on their loan. Does that make sense?
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, you know what? That's pretty much all I got for now. I think, because I looked at this deal really quickly, I think that's our best bet. So why don't we work on that? And then if we can get them to agree to that, then we can sort of talk about coming up with some cash we could get you to help you move on. Get a moving truck and all that.
Beautiful.
Okay. Any other questions while you got me?
Yeah, it is. Like I said, I'm definitely going to need money out of it because I have so much stuff. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Got it. That's good to know. Okay. No, I hear you. Okay. All right, Jamie. Well, let me and Mike go work our magic, and we'll be in touch soon.
Okay. The sooner the better because I already got the 10-day letter.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. For the auction or for?
No, for them to send it to the attorney.
Oh, yes. Okay. Perfect. Yes. We'll jump on it right away. Okay. Good to know. Okay. All right, Jamie. Let us get to work on that, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you.
You're
and
welcome.
I'm also talking to somebody else interested in buying the house. So, yeah, the sooner you can get back to me, like you can understand, I'm trying to get the most I can out of it so that I can set myself up well. Understood. Is are the other people, are they like a cash offer, or what was how were they structuring it? They're basically talking about the same thing you are.
Okay, got it. Okay, nice. Okay, well, we'll see if we can work a little faster than them and help you out.
Thank you
Okay,
so much. I appreciate your help.
you too, Jamie. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.
Yeah, I can get back with the bank and ask about that. So she got her, the bank said she has until November 27th is when they're going to officially file the foreclosure itself. That's when it goes to the attorneys and it goes to them. I would imagine it goes to what's the third party attorney called that gets involved in that?
Oh, I don't
The,
even know. Yeah, just regular. Yeah, they just
yeah,
an
there's
attorney.
yeah, it's in all of the pre-foreclosure trainings that Caroline Kane does. She talked about it. I forget what it is. Yeah, so I can go back with the bank, see if that's going to be an option. Um, so then we'll still go through escrow, right? We'll put together like a purchase sale agreement that'll document all this. How do you, uh, so what's like from here? Let's say the bank says, because I'm going to present it as if she is just we're working with her to figure out a finance area where she can make some payments, push this 10K off to the end of the loan. How do I present that from your view? How do I present that to the bank without misrepresenting, right? If the banker says, well, you guys going to be taking over the loan then? Because we got to go through a whole other loan process or something like that. What's the response there?
Yeah, it's a tricky one. And if he's, and I don't want to complicate it. It depends on your loan guy, right? If it's a loan guy that's like pretty reasonable.
Well, that's actually risk mitigation is the role the people we talk to.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not even a loan officer
Yeah, I would.
or loss mitigation.
Yeah, you're right. And you don't want to misrepresent, but okay. And that's why it might be good to have her on the call. And just that way it's like not, it's up to you, whatever's, you know what, sounds like she's got time. So I would get her on the call, be like, hey, I'm just helping out her. We might end up flipping this house down the road or we might end up buying it. We're not sure, but the thing we got to get figured out is we got to get her current and fix this. So, that's probably what I would say, and I wouldn't get into us buying it. And then because once we get them approved and it goes through that, yeah, because I'm assuming that they're going to be like, yeah, we'll give you one more shot, or you know what, and that's where, and I don't know how their process works for that, or how to get that reinstated. Be like, hey, she messed it up. We're like, do you guys really? I don't know.
I presented myself as a friend who's helping her out. That's how I positioned my relationship with her, and so that's all they know at this point.
Got it. Yeah, I just don't see with a $25K entry fee working. So, but if we can get that on the back end, and then she's probably gonna have to give a little bit too. Like 15K is a lot, but maybe it's 10 or 5. I mean, for sure, certainly if she could make things work at 5, and then we'll start going into due diligence after that. Like if it's, I'm not sure how rough a shape it is, but I mean, $1,000 payment could definitely, I think it'd be a great wrap is what this could be.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think given how she's a little, this is maybe not the right word to use, but a little bit simple, right? So I want to have a conversation with this loss mitigation person that, where she doesn't muddy it up by saying something that's not in alignment with what we're trying to do. If you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. If you want to just honestly, yeah, it's way easier too. It's your call if you want to bring her on. You can do it either way.
Sure. Yeah. Well, now that she's officially authorized me to, have those discussions with them. Yeah. Right. And we did it right on the phone. The bank person says, yeah, if you want to authorize Mike, we can do that right here. And he can just call and get information, whenever he needs it. She's like, yeah, let's do that. So that's good. So we get this set up. All right. So path forward here. The bank says, all right, we did this once before. We're going to give her one more chance. If she can make the next payment, right, we'll go ahead and start this process again. And let's say the next payment is going to be, well, she said it's due November 27th, so it might be due November 27th. Would we actually contract with her, and essentially we would sign off on put Gregerson Properties or whatever on the deed and cut her a check? and then we just make that payment directly to the bank, and then done deal, right?
Yeah, it'll depend. Ideally, they'll give us to like the 27th, a little bit of time, because then we'll want to do
Yeah,
our full due diligence, make sure it can work. But yeah, we won't go. Ideally, we won't make a payment until she signed the deed to us, and then
yeah,
we'll start making the payments. And
yeah,
you're exactly right, and give her whatever cash we agree to.
yeah. And so our due diligence, so that included in that is somebody walks the property, right?
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it's like it's just a matter of her getting her stuff out, and it's not we're gonna have to go put 15K. Because my thought is, I'm hoping it's just a cleaner. A cleaner can get in there, and maybe a handyman, and this thing could be rent ready.
Yeah, yeah, right. Do you want me to reach out on the sub two community and say, does anybody have aware of a realtor or a contractor in Knoxville? I mean, who knows, right?
Yeah,
And then
yeah, I think
you
that's good.
kick them a couple $100 to just go do a walkthrough for you.
Yeah, yeah, I would do that, and then yeah, see if anybody has any referrals, or at least they should be able to point you to the right agent, and the agent would have the contractor if they don't have a
Sure.
contractor. But
Right.
I would
Okay.
wait. I mean, yeah, definitely. As you probably know, order would be let's get the thing figured out with the bank, and if the bank
Yep.
says yeah, and the bank might say yeah, let us go. Their answer will probably be let us go check, and
Yeah.
if in the meantime you could be teeing it up.
Yeah.
But if the bank's like no, we're the only way we're not going to foreclosure is if she comes with 10K, then we probably just tell her sorry, or we tell her hey, we can catch up your loan so you don't get foreclosed on, but we can't get you money to get out. You
Right.
know?
And then well, I'm kind of glad she's got another option because then we say talk to the other guys because we're out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Follow. I'll talk. I'll call the bank right now.
Cool. Awesome.
See
Well,
what
that was a good
happens.
one.